These 6 isometric exercises will transform your entire lower body. And what if I told you it's completely possible to get amazing leg results without moving? Many people believe that to have strong, defined legs, you must squat until you can't walk, but that's not the reality. Today, you'll learn 6 isometric lower body exercises that, when performed with proper technique and consistency, can completely reshape this area, regardless of your current age. Before we begin, please leave your name and the city you're watching from in the comments. Beyond the technical details already covered, I want to share some advanced tips to further enhance your isometric training. First, mental focus or the mind-muscle connection is crucial. Before each hold, visualize the muscle working. Imagining the contraction increases fiber recruitment and makes the isometric more effective. Another key point is breathing. Instead of holding your breath, inhale for 3 seconds, hold for 1 second, then exhale for 3 seconds. This ensures continuous oxygen flow and prevents you from losing strength prematurely. Isometric exercise 6, horse stance. Have you ever seen statues of samurai warriors or martial artists in a combat stance? That posture with wide, semi-bent legs is exactly what we're talking about. The horse stance is one of the oldest and most effective isometric exercises for building leg strength and endurance, especially in the quadriceps and adductors. The major benefit of this exercise lies in the simultaneous recruitment of multiple muscle groups. While your quadriceps work intensely to hold the semi-squat, your adductors engage to stabilize the leg position, and your glutes fire to keep the hips aligned. It's essentially a complete lower body workout. To perform it correctly, start standing with your feet slightly wider than shoulder width. Turn your toes out about 30 degrees. Keep your spine straight and your gaze forward. Begin lowering yourself slowly as if sitting into an imaginary chair until your thighs are parallel to the ground or your knees form roughly a 90-degree angle. Here's the secret: keep your knees aligned over your toes, never allowing them to collapse inward. Your arms can extend forward for balance, or adopt the traditional martial arts posture with your elbows bent and close to your body. A common mistake is pushing your knees too far past your toes, which places unnecessary stress on the ligaments. Another error is not lowering deeply enough, remaining too high, which fails to generate adequate tension in the target muscles. It's also essential not to round your back. Keep your core engaged throughout to protect your lumbar spine. For beginners, start with 3 sets of 20 to 30 seconds, resting 60 seconds between sets. As you progress, gradually increase to 45-second holds, then 60 seconds, and eventually up to 2 minutes per set. You can perform this exercise 3 to 4 times per week. And by the way, if you feel your muscles trembling during the hold, know that it's completely normal and even desirable. It indicates your fibers are being challenged maximally, exactly what we want. To intensify further, try height variations. Elevating your heels on a small ramp or hardcover book increases your range of motion and recruits even more adductor fibers. Another option is to loop resistance bands around your knees, pushing them outward constantly, which reinforces activation of the gluteus medius and minimus. Exercise 5, static lunge hold. The second exercise on our list is the static lunge hold, a movement that will have your quadriceps begging for mercy while intensely working your glutes and hamstrings. This is an outstanding exercise for developing unilateral strength, correcting leg-to-leg imbalances, and significantly improving your stability. The key difference in this exercise is the uneven weight distribution between the legs, which intensifies the load on the front leg. Additionally, it recruits stabilizer muscles that are often underutilized in bilateral exercises like the traditional squat. This leads to a more harmonious and functional development of your legs. To perform it correctly, start standing with your feet hip-width apart. Take a step forward with one leg, creating a comfortable distance, neither too short nor overly long. Lower yourself slowly until both legs form approximately 90-degree angles. The front knee should align over the ankle, never passing the toes, and the rear leg should hover just above the ground with the heel raised. Keep your torso upright, core engaged, and gaze forward. Your arms may rest at your sides or on your hips for balance. Common mistakes include leaning the torso too far forward, shifting tension from the quadriceps to the lower back, and not lowering deeply enough to form the proper 90-degree angles, which drastically reduces the exercise's effectiveness. It's also common for the front knee to collapse inward, which can lead to long-term injuries. I recommend 3 sets of 30 seconds per leg, with 60 seconds of rest between sides. seconds. As your endurance improves, you can progress to 45, 60, and eventually 90 seconds per leg. Remember to train both sides equally to avoid muscle imbalances. To further ramp up the challenge, try raising your arms overhead while holding the position. This elevates your center of gravity and makes the stabilizer muscles work even harder. Another tip is to perform the lunge on an unstable surface, such as a balance disc or cushion, to increase recruitment of the deep ankle and core stabilizers. Exercise 4. Static glute bridge. If you're aiming for that rounded, well-defined glute shape we all admire, you can't skip the static glute bridge in your routine. This isometric exercise is simply fantastic for isolating and deeply working all of your gluteal muscles, while also engaging the hamstrings and lower back secondarily. The major benefit of this movement lies in precise activation of the gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus, which not only enhances aesthetics but also significantly improves your posture and reduces issues like lower back pain. Many people today suffer from sleepy glutes due to prolonged sitting, and this exercise is the perfect remedy. To perform it correctly, lie on your back on a mat or comfortable surface, bend your knees, and place your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart, and close enough to your glutes to form a roughly 90-degree angle at the knees. Extend your arms alongside your body with palms down. Press your heels into the floor and lift your hips until your shoulders, hips, and knees form a straight line. The key is to squeeze your glutes forcefully at the top of the movement and hold that contraction throughout the isometric hold. A very common mistake is not lifting the hips high enough, staying in a half bridge that fails to generate sufficient tension in the glutes. Another error is overusing the lower back to maintain the position, which can cause back pain. To avoid this, focus on actively contracting the glutes throughout the exercise. I recommend starting with 3 sets of 30 to 45 seconds in the elevated position, with 60 seconds of rest between sets. As your endurance improves, gradually increase to 60 to 90 seconds per set. To intensify the work even more, try lifting one leg straight while holding your hips aloft with the strength of the other leg. This nearly doubles the intensity on the supporting side. In this case, reduce the hold time to 15 to 20 seconds per side initially. Remember to breathe normally throughout the exercise. Many people unconsciously hold their breath during isometrics, which can unnecessarily raise blood pressure. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth in a controlled manner. An advanced variation is to rest your shoulders on an elevated bench, which increases the range of motion and further engages the posterior chain. Another tip is to place a Swiss ball under your feet to challenge your balance and force the stabilizers to work intensely. Number 3. Single leg squat with hip hinge hold. Now let's move on to an exercise that will test not only your strength but also your balance and coordination. The single leg squat with hip hinge hold is a more advanced isometric variation that intensely works your quadriceps, glutes, and core and ankle stabilizers in a way few exercises can. The key difference in this movement lies in the unilateral load combined with the hinge position, which creates exceptional tension throughout the posterior chain, especially in the glute of the supporting leg. This exercise is particularly effective at correcting left-right imbalances and drastically improving body awareness. To perform it correctly, start standing on one leg with the other leg slightly bent and lifted off the floor. Keep your hands on your hips or extended in front of you to aid balance. Next, hinge forward at the hips while extending the free leg straight behind you, creating a straight line from your heel to your head, as if you were in an airplane position. Lower yourself until the hip of your support leg is parallel to the ground, or as close as you can manage, and hold that position. Your weight should be distributed across the entire foot of the supporting leg. One of the most common errors is allowing the support knee to collapse inward, which can lead to injury. Always keep the knee aligned with your second toe. Another frequent mistake is rounding the lower back during the movement, shifting tension away from the target muscles and onto the lumbar spine. Maintain a neutral spine throughout. It's also common to see people unable to find proper balance, making it impossible to hold the position for the required time. For beginners, I recommend starting with 3 sets of 15 to 20 seconds per leg, resting 30 seconds between sides. As your stability and strength improve, gradually progress to 30-second and eventually 45-second holds per leg. Don't rush this progression. Developing stability takes time. If you struggle at first, lightly support yourself with a wall or chair, reducing that assistance as you get stronger. Another effective strategy is to fix your gaze on a single point in front of you, which significantly aids balance. To further challenge your proprioception, try performing the exercise on a foam pad or balance disc. This forces your core and joints to stabilize constantly, raising the difficulty level and stimulating sensory adaptations. Number 2. Isometric calf raise hold. We can't talk about a total leg transformation without giving due attention to the calves, often the most neglected part by fitness enthusiasts. Well-developed calves not only complete the aesthetic of the legs, giving a proportional athletic look, but also significantly improve performance in activities like running, jumping, and even daily posture. It's no wonder calves are called the heart of the legs for their blood-pumping function. The isometric calf raise hold intensely works the gastrocnemius and soleus muscles, which determine the shape and power of this region. The key difference with the isometric version is the prolonged tension, which deeply challenges the muscle fibers and delivers a more efficient stimulus for hypertrophy and toning. To perform correctly, stand, ideally near a wall or chair for light support, balancing on the balls of your feet. Keep your feet parallel at hip width, distributing weight evenly, then raise up as high as you can onto your toes, contracting your calves hard. Here's the crucial point. Instead of immediately lowering like in a traditional calf raise, remain at the top and sustain the isometric contraction for the prescribed time. A very common mistake is not lifting the heels high enough, drastically reducing movement efficiency. Another error is shifting weight onto the inside or outside of the forefoot instead of distributing it evenly across all toes. This not only diminishes the exercise's effectiveness, but can also cause ankle alignment issues. Since calves are naturally more fatigue resistant, I recommend starting with 4 sets of 30 to 45 seconds in the elevated position, resting 30 seconds between sets. As your endurance increases, progress to 60 to 90 second holds. One interesting strategy is to alternate between sets with feet parallel, which emphasize the lateral gastrocnemius, and sets with toes slightly pointed outward to work the medial gastrocnemius more, ensuring complete and balanced development. To further intensify, perform the exercise one leg at a time, which doubles the challenge. In that case, begin with shorter holds of 15 to 20 seconds per leg. Another challenging variation is to position the balls of your feet on a step or raised platform, allowing a greater range of motion and consequently more calf tension. Exercise 1. Wall sit. We've arrived at the final exercise in our series, and I promise I've saved one of the most effective for last. The wall sit, also known as the invisible chair, is a classic isometric move that primarily targets the quadriceps, while also intensely working the glutes, adductors, and core. The major benefit of this exercise lies in how deeply it recruits quadriceps muscle fibers without placing impact on the joints, making it safe even for those with a history of knee issues. Moreover, the specific position allows for a sustained contraction that few exercises can match. To perform it correctly, press your back flat against a smooth wall with your feet shoulder width apart, positioned about 30 to 60 centimeters from the wall. Slide down slowly, keeping your entire back in contact with the wall until your thighs are parallel to the floor and your knees form a 90-degree angle. Your knees should align with your ankles, never extending past your toes. Keep your arms relaxed at your sides, crossed over your chest, or extended forward to increase the challenge. A common mistake is not lowering far enough, ending up too high and failing to generate adequate tension in the quadriceps. Conversely, descending too low, creating a knee angle smaller than 90 degrees, places undue stress on the joint. Another frequent error is pressing only your shoulder blades against the wall while arching your lower back, which not only reduces the exercise's effectiveness, but can also cause back discomfort. Ensure your entire spine remains in contact with the wall. For beginners, I recommend starting with 3 sets of 30 seconds in position, resting 45 seconds between sets. As your endurance improves, progress to holds of 45, 60, and eventually up to 2 minutes per set. The wall sit is one of those isometric exercises where you can truly increase your hold time as you adapt. To intensify the challenge, hold weight in your lap, such as a book, water bottle, or a kettlebell. Another effective variation is the single leg wall sit. Lift one leg while holding the position on the other. This variation is extremely demanding, so begin with shorter holds of 15 to 20 seconds per leg. One important tip: feeling intense quadriceps burn during this exercise is entirely normal. When the discomfort spikes, focus on deep, controlled breathing to help you push through the toughest moments. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, then exhale through your mouth for 4 seconds. This technique not only helps tolerate the burn, but also improves muscle oxygenation. Beyond their efficiency, the greatest beauty of these exercises is that you can do them absolutely anywhere. At home, the office, or while traveling. No excuses. Don't forget to take before photos to compare with your results. This is an excellent way to track progress and stay motivated. Beyond proper execution and advanced variations, dedicating special attention to recovery is essential for muscle adaptation and growth. Immediately post-workout, include light dynamic stretches such as hip rotations, alternating knee-to-chest lifts, and controlled leg extensions. These help restore muscle length, reduce stiffness, and improve circulation. Also use myofascial self-release with a foam roller or massage ball. Roll slowly over the quads, adductors, calves, and glutes, spending 30 to 60 seconds on each tight spot. This technique breaks adhesions, accelerates oxygen and nutrient delivery, and reduces delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS, 24 to 48 hours after training. Don't underestimate sleep. Most growth hormone release and muscle repair happen during deep sleep phases. Aim for 7 to 9 hours per night in a dark, quiet, cool environment. If possible, include a 20 to 30 minute midday nap during intense training periods. It helps replenish neurotransmitters and maintain motivation. Post-workout nutrition makes a big difference. Beyond a balanced meal, consume a fast-absorbing protein source, whey shake or Greek yogurt within 30 minutes of training, plus low GI carbohydrates, berries, oats, or sweet potato to extend the anabolic window. To track progress, take weekly photos of your lower body under similar conditions. Same time, angle, lighting. You'll notice subtle gains in muscle definition and leg line that a daily mirror check might miss. Using wearables, smartwatches, apps to monitor resting heart rate variability, and sleep quality is also a great strategy. These metrics show if you're ready for a heavy session or if you need an active recovery day. Light walk, gentle yoga, easy cycling. On isometric rest days, incorporate activities like swimming, light rowing, or trekking. This strengthens support muscles, boosts cardiovascular endurance, and promotes muscular balance without overloading the same joints. Finally, work on your mental game by setting smart goals. For example, increase wall sit from 60 seconds to 90 seconds in 4 weeks, or hold the horse stance for 2 minutes without shaking within 8 sessions. Review these goals daily, aloud or in writing, to reinforce commitment. When technique, variations, recovery, and mindset align, you'll not only have stronger, more sculpted legs, but also gain the confidence and motivation to make isometrics a sustainable, enjoyable long-term practice. Thank you for following this series. May God bless you, my friend.